You're still there, aren't you? In the relationship that drains you, the job that diminishes you, the pattern that quietly destroys you. You know it's hurting you. You've known for longer than you'd like to admit. And yet you stay. Not because you're weak, not because you don't see it clearly. You stay because leaving feels like death. Most people think loyalty is a virtue, a measure of character, a sign of strength and commitment. They're mistaking survival instinct for moral choice. What you call loyalty, your nervous system calls safety. Even when the thing you're loyal to is killing you slowly, this is the trap nobody talks about. The invisible mechanism that keeps you bound to harm. You've convinced yourself it's about love, about duty, about not giving up on something that matters. But beneath the story you tell yourself, something else is operating, something older and far more efficient. Your brain has categorized this pain as familiar, and familiar pain always feels safer than uncertain freedom. This is why you defend what hurts you, why you rationalize staying, why you attack anyone who suggests leaving. You're not defending the relationship or the job or the habit. You're defending the neural pathway that keeps you alive. Or at least that's what your system believes it's doing. The pain you know has become part of your identity, part of how you organize reality, and your mind will choose a painful known over a peaceful unknown every single time. This isn't about the person who mistreats you. It's not about the workplace that exploits you. It's about the architecture of attachment, the way your brain bonds to survival patterns regardless of their cost. You've been taught that staying is noble, that endurance is strength, that loyalty is the highest virtue. Nobody told you loyalty can become a cage you build for yourself, one rationalization at a time. The person who finally leaves isn't braver than you. They're not stronger or more worthy. They just reached the threshold where the fear of staying became greater than the fear of leaving. But most people never reach that threshold. They stay until there's nothing left to stay for, until the thing they were loyal to has consumed everything they once were. You think you're choosing to stay, but choice requires awareness of alternatives your nervous system won't let you consider. What feels like devotion is often just the absence of permission to imagine something different. This is the psychology they don't teach, the uncomfortable truth about why humans cling to their own destruction. Not because they're damaged, not because they don't know better, because their survival system is doing exactly what it was designed to do in a context it was never designed for. Most content will tell you how to leave, how to set boundaries, how to choose yourself. We're not here to tell you what to do. We're here to show you what's actually happening underneath the choice. This is the place where loyalty gets dissected, where the hidden machinery of attachment becomes visible. If you're ready to see why you stay without the comfort of easy answers, click subscribe now. Not for motivation, not for tips, for the raw truth about the psychology of the hidden self. Your ancestors lived in groups of 50 to 150 people. Exile from the group meant certain death, starvation, predation, isolation in an environment designed to kill the solitary. So the brain developed an alarm system, a mechanism to detect and prevent social abandonment at any cost. This system doesn't evaluate whether the group is good for you. It only evaluates whether you're still in it. Belonging became more important than well-being, connection more vital than dignity. Your nervous system inherited this priority structure. It still runs on the same ancient code. When you think about leaving something harmful, your brain registers it as potential exile. And exile to the machinery that keeps you alive is not an option worth considering. This is why your body floods with panic when you imagine walking away, why your thoughts spiral into catastrophic predictions, why staying feels like the only rational choice. It's not rational. It's automated threat response. Your brain has bonded the harmful thing to your survival. They're linked in your neural architecture. The abusive relationship becomes home. The exploitative job becomes identity. The destructive pattern becomes normalcy. And normal, no matter how painful, always feels safer than change. This is the mechanism behind trauma bonding, behind Stockholm syndrome, behind every bewildering case of loyalty to harm. It's not psychological weakness. It's biological efficiency. Your system learned that this pain comes with continued existence, so it accepts the pain as the price of survival. When someone suggests you leave, your threat detection system hears, abandon your survival strategy, so you defend staying. You find reasons. You minimize the damage. You attack the suggestion, not because you're in denial, because your nervous system is doing its job. The longer you stay, the deeper the bond becomes. The more your identity wraps around the source of pain. You start to need the thing that hurts you. Not emotionally, neurologically, your baseline becomes the presence of harm. Peace starts to feel like danger because it's unfamiliar. This is how people become addicted to chaos, to conflict, to relationships that destroy them. The addiction isn't to the person or the situation. It's to the neural state that's become your default. Your brain has built an entire reality around this pain. Leaving means dismantling that reality. And dismantling reality, even a painful one, triggers every survival alarm you have. This is why clarity doesn't equal action. Why knowing it's bad doesn't make leaving easier. Because you're not fighting a relationship or a job. You're fighting millions of years of evolution. Your ancestors who stayed with the tribe, even when the tribe was cruel, survived to pass on their genes. The ones who left for better conditions often died alone in the wilderness. You carry the DNA of the ones who stayed, the ones who endured, the ones who bonded to harm rather than risk isolation. This loyalty isn't virtue, it's genetic inheritance. And it's keeping you trapped in a pattern your conscious mind can see, but your survival system won't let you escape. The damage doesn't announce itself. There's no sudden collapse. No clear moment when you realize you've lost yourself completely. It happens in increments, small compromises, tiny erosions of boundary, quiet negotiations with your own dignity. You adjust, you adapt, you learn to function inside the harm, and each adjustment teaches you that your needs are negotiable, that your pain is tolerable, that you are secondary. This is where the real violence occurs, not in what's being done to you, but in what you're learning about yourself. You're building a belief system in real time, an internal hierarchy where you rank below your own suffering. Every day you stay, you're casting a vote, not for the situation, but for your worthlessness relative to it. Your identity begins to organize around endurance, around tolerance, around the capacity to absorb damage without breaking. You become proud of how much you can take, how loyal you are, how committed despite everything. But pride and endurance is just pain disguised as virtue. You stop knowing what you actually want because wanting became dangerous years ago. Desire means risking disappointment. Boundaries mean risking abandonment. Anger means risking retaliation. So you flatten. You become compliant. You learn to exist without taking up space. The person you were before the harm becomes a memory, then a ghost, then a myth you're not sure you believe. And the worst part is how normal it feels, how rational your rationalizations sound. You can explain why you stay. You have reasons. They sound reasonable to you, and sometimes even to others. But beneath the explanations, there's a question you've stopped asking yourself. How many versions of yourself have you buried to keep this thing alive? If you've lost count of the person you used to be, comment the word buried below. Not for validation, not for connection, for documentation. To mark the moment you admitted what staying has cost. Because the cost isn't just time. It's not just opportunity or happiness or peace. The cost is the ongoing murder of your own agency. Every time you choose familiar harm over uncertain freedom, you teach yourself a lesson about your own value. You learn that you are less important than consistency, that your well-being matters less than maintaining what exists. That changing your circumstances is more frightening than accepting your suffering. And this lesson becomes your operating system, the foundation of every future decision you make. You stop leaving harmful things because you've internalized the belief that leaving isn't something people like you do. The loyalty that started as survival instinct becomes identity. You become the person who stays, not because it's noble, because you've forgotten you have permission to do anything else. The relationship or job or pattern isn't even the problem anymore. The problem is the version of yourself you've become in order to survive it. And that version doesn't know how to exist outside the harm, doesn't know who it would be without the suffering. So you stay, not for love, not for duty, not for loyalty. You stay because leaving would mean confronting the person you've become. And that person, the one who learned to tolerate the intolerable, terrifies you more than anything outside ever could. You've been holding yourself hostage, not consciously, not deliberately, but with the efficiency of someone who learned the lock from the inside. The thing you're loyal to didn't trap you. You trapped yourself around it, built walls, justified them, called them commitment, called them love, called them strength. But you knew, somewhere beneath the explanations, you've always known. This isn't recognition of something new. It's acknowledgement of something you've been carrying in silence. The weight of staying, the cost of loyalty, the quiet violence of choosing against yourself. And now you're here, seeing it named, seeing the mechanism exposed. The survival instinct doesn't disappear just because you understand it now. Your nervous system will still flood you with panic when you consider leaving. Your mind will still generate reasons to stay. Familiar pain will still feel safer than uncertain freedom. But something has shifted in the seeing itself. You can't unknow what you've learned here. Can't return to the innocence of not understanding why you stay. The next time you defend staying, you'll feel the automation, the ancient machinery executing its protocol. You'll sense the gap between what you know and what you're doing. And in that gap, there's a kind of terrible clarity. Not the clarity that changes everything. The clarity that makes everything visible. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're not uniquely damaged or fundamentally flawed. You're a biological system doing exactly what it was designed to do. Choosing survival over thriving. Choosing the known over the unknown. Choosing bondage over the terror of freedom. Most people will never see this mechanism, will live entire lives loyal to harm and call it virtue, will die having never questioned why they stayed in situations that slowly erased them. You're not most people. You're here. You've seen it. And seeing changes the equation, even when it doesn't change the behavior, because now, when you stay, you'll know you're staying. Not because you have to, not because there's no choice, but because the fear of leaving still outweighs the cost of remaining. And maybe that awareness is enough for now. Maybe it has to be. The loyalty will probably continue. You'll probably wake up tomorrow in the same situation you're in today, but you'll feel it differently. You'll recognize the mechanism when it runs, the rationalization, the defense, the way you minimize harm to maintain attachment. You'll watch yourself do it, and you'll know exactly what's happening. No judgment, no shame, just clear, cold recognition. This is what it looks like when survival instinct overrides well-being. This is what it feels like to choose the cage because the key is too frightening to use. And perhaps in one of those moments of recognition, something will shift. Not dramatically, not suddenly, but definitively. The bond will loosen. The loyalty will waver. The fear of staying will finally exceed the fear of leaving. Or maybe it won't. Maybe you'll stay until there's nothing left of you to stay with. Either way, you'll know why. You'll understand the ancient code that kept you bound, the survival mechanism that mistook harm for home. And that understanding, uncomfortable as it is the only honest thing you've allowed yourself in a long time. The question was never whether you should leave. The question is, how long will you stay loyal to the version of yourself that learned to accept this?